Hiya, Cosmic Cat here, along with little kitty Love, coming to hang out with us. Today, this is a special reading. If your birthday is today, March 30th, okay? You share a birthday with 367,000 people. Isn't that just a mind-blowing number? That number also reduces to the number 9, which also coincides and is a synchronicity, not a coincidence, friends. That is the year of this number, 2025. So we have 9, 9. And on top of that, there are 891 moons. 891 moons. Guess what number that reduces to? You guessed it. Number 9. Yes. So 999. Well, one thing that we know about nines is that nines are right before you get to that 10, which is completing a cycle, right? So that's to say that there's a lot to work through sometimes, and you're doing a lot of hard work. Perhaps you're doing a lot of spiritual journeys. You're going inward, or maybe you're external. Perhaps you're coaching, and it's just weighing you down. It's not that you don't love what you're doing. You do love it, but it's also causing, you want to be done with it so you don't get a burnout. You don't receive burnouts. Nines show that we are still strong, persevering, we're determined. We may have those glimpses of doubts, but hope and faith and our determination keeps us alive. Also, quite possibly that the new moon in Aries just happened yesterday, which has given us a lot of drive. Aries is a natural, you are a natural born leader. You are competitive. You can be blunt at times and impatient. There's lots of things that can happen with in an Aries environment. I'm going to have to pick up my little kitty here because he's a little kitten and he's not even 4 months old yet. And he really wants to play. And he shares Sagittarius birthday with me, which is also a fire sign. Like you, Aries. Aries, you're a fire sign. You want to say hi? Okay. All right. You said hi. Okay. All right. Okay. So, Aries, we know you're blunt. You can be impatient at times. You're in Mars. You start the whole cycle of everything. You know, you're the beginning of it all. And it's when spring arrives here for us where we're at in the northern hemisphere. And it just brings, it's about our physical energy. It's about sexuality. Mars is about our temper and anger. So if you've been feeling anger or your masculine energy has been overpowering your feminine, it's all understandable and it's part of the process. So just trust it and allow it to flow. Well, and here I have forgot to get your birthday candle out. And we have a very special birthday cupcake for you. And today it's all about purple. So is purple your favorite color? Share that down below, okay? Because and also I'd be curious to know, I'm a curious cat. I'd be curious to know how many people you've met that share your birthday. How many people have you met that share your birthday and that like you talk to regularly? Share with me. And also if anything happens with that, as far as you're on the same page a lot, you synchronize a lot, or if you butt heads a lot because you are so alike, share a little bit with that with me, and let me know. It'd be interesting to have. Okay, we're gonna light your candle here. So I've been scrying, and recent scrying session, volcano came up, a volcano erupting, you know, and again, Aries, you're of the planet Mars, which is all about temperament and anger. And also, Aries, you're a little bit impatient sometimes, right? So it's interesting that the volcano came up, and then I had grabbed, for that day even, I grabbed this candle, and look at this, it's volcano. It says volcano on there. So who's erupting, okay? Or who's trying not to erupt but wants to? Share in the comments below. The wick also looked like a dragon head the other day. It doesn't right now. Kind of looks more like... looks like someone climbing the mountain, actually. Okay. That's love. He's so curious. He loves the space up here. He likes the reading. He loves to lay down. And he also is wanting to play, I think, right now. But we are going to do a reading. And what's going to happen is at the end, before we end the reading entirely, I'm going to blow this candle out for you. So start setting your intention if you have one already. This reading is for you. If you were born today, it is specific to you. It's also, though, if you were guided to this reading, check your chart and make sure to see where Aries is in your chart. If you have a moon, if it's in your moon sign or your rising, okay? Because there may be a message in here that's significant for you to hear. Okay? So we're going to start by pulling. We're going to start first by pulling a card from the Archangel's Animal deck, because in a recent scrying session also animals came up. Do you have any animals? Drop an emoji of the animal you have, or if you're wanting to get an animal soon. I actually love who came up here first, my little kitten. I had wanted a kitten for my birthday, and I knew that Spirit was going to provide this kitten for me. So on my birthday, it didn't really come. He didn't come then, and I was patient. Although I had a couple of opportunities arise for a kitten, it just wasn't, one of them, it just didn't feel right until love came into my life. And I got him on Valentine's Day, and he was barely even 2 months old. And what's interesting about this, I'm sharing this with you because I had wanted him on my birthday. I thought he might come on my birthday. I knew Spirit had a birthday gift for me that was already shown to me more than once. But being patient and learning patience, which is also your sign, Aries, came into play. What else came into play was I received him on Valentine's Day. Part of the reason his name is Love. The toss-ups were, there were 3 different names, and love won overall. And I thought that's kind of cool, calling in Love, like, hey Love, come here Love, hey love you Love. I thought that would be really nice and a good way to also affirm. And because I got him on Valentine's Day. The other thing is that he was born 7 days before my birthday. And so he's also Sagittarius, and he was born right before my birthday. And so it's wonderful. Yeah, it's really wonderful and amazing how it works out. So that was shared with you for that reason, in case maybe perhaps you feel the same. If you do, let me know. I'd love to hear about this. What card do you have for us today, Spirit? This one's it. We have the snake. That's the year that we're living in, okay? If you're a gardener, you really love, it would be wise to love snakes. They help your garden altogether. So live according to your divine essence. What is your divine essence? This is stunning how the picture here, I'm going to hold this up so that you can feel, allow yourself to feel anything that you feel, see what you see. What do you think about? What comes to mind and in your gut or your belly when you see this card? What is it that you're feeling? What is that for you? There's something about going deeper within so that you can gain insight and knowledge of who you are and learn who you are, because maybe perhaps who you thought you were or the image that you held isn't really your true divine essence, okay? The elemental kingdom. So this is you working with wind, rain, sun, the heat, the fire, all of the elements, spirit realm, water, all of them. Yeah. This is the Grateful Dead deck is what I'm going to be pulling from today. This is, again, the one that I was just guided to do. We're only going to pull one card, and this is it that came out for us. And then we're going to pull one card. And we're going to pull one card from the Green Witch Oracle deck. What's the card is that for the spirits today? For this birthday. Okay. All right. So we have our cards picked out. We already have our snake, which is the year of the snake. Again, a number 9. 9s are significant for you, okay? And actually, your birthday, well, that's 6, actually. 3 plus 30 is 6. But you can add, I'm not sure what your life path number is, if it's a 9. But 9's, another meaning for 9 is how the cumulative effect of past events manifest in the present moment. So that is another one. How events that over the years, how events that accumulate over the years in the past affect the present moment. Like your birthday, you may be thinking about past birthdays or the beginning of your first birthday you remembered and how it affects your birthday today. It doesn't define who you are, who you become, what your future is. But sometimes it's good to go to our past and get a piece of knowledge that we used in our past situations or a past moment and carry that forward with us so that we can have that as a tool almost. So it wouldn't surprise me if we get the Magician or if we do get a Queen or a Knight in this card here. Let's see what we have. We have the Lovers. Look at that. I was just talking about, that's so, it's not a coincidence, you guys. It's a synchronicity that Love, my kitty cat, his name is Love. He blessed us here with this presence to begin with in the reading. And we have the Lovers card. This is Ruben and Charisse, the song Ruben and Charisse. If you don't know it, if you do know it and you're a dad head, definitely listen to it. And if you do know it, then you know that it's about temptation. It's about being tempted by another. We have Ruby Claire here, and we have the temptation of her right here in red. And this is Charisse here dancing. I think I got that correct. It may be the other way around. Yeah, I think this is Ruby Claire, the one in red, and she's holding the serpent and has her hand up on the other end. So it's, and there's a full moon. There's a full moon rising. So this could be something of where you're dealing with, you're in a monogamous relationship, but there's feelings. You can feel that your partner is seeking attention outside of the relationship, or is just simply being tempted, because temptation is a part of life. It's a part of what happens to all of us. We all have temptations. There's temptations we have within ourselves, and there's temptations in dynamics of relationships too. The Lovers card, the number 6 could be significant for you. Actually, that is your number, March 30th, 330. 3 plus 3 is 6. So there we have it. Are you going to be sharing this birthday with the one you love? Are you sharing it with more than just the one you love? So I understand what this card, the meaning behind it by the people, by the amazing creators who drew the card and who wrote the guidebook. But I am actually getting a sense right now that this is actually, the temptation is an illusion for some of you. For some of you, you're in a relationship that is actually devoted, loyal, and respectful to the relationship. And although there may have been a look elsewhere at a point or time of someone else, your partner is loyal to you. And this is showing a shadow side of yourself, like an aspect of yourself that you've held on to, whether through a prior relationship or something you've held on since childhood, of being just, the foundation. What is your foundation from childhood as far as trust goes? Were you able to trust those, your family, those around you, those close to you at the time that you were being raised? So trust, a foundation of stability, strength, knowing yourself, knowing your inner gut and your true inner wisdom. Also, you know, not covering up. There's a victimization of, I can't remember the name of it now, because I learned about it probably 6 to 8 months ago, maybe a year even. But it's a feeling of, it's something about when you're victimized, like if, like kidnappers, when kids or people are kidnapped, and then they start defending their perpetrator, who raped them, who kidnapped them. They start defending them. It's like a psychosis. It's some sort of mindset, and I can't remember the name. If you remember the name of it, drop it down below. And when I actually first learned about it, I wondered about that, because I thought, wow, is that something that I do? Do I do that? Because if you are a empath and you feel deeply for other people, even more so sometimes than for your own self, which was a state of mindset that I had been in for a long time, or a people pleaser, then you lack feeling and worth and value for yourself. And finding out of if you are actually defending someone that is not healthy, is not good for you, in a relationship that isn't healthy or toxic, or where your partner really is like on the side, has like, someone on the side, or a mistress, or they are involved with someone else and you're not okay with it. I mean, it's different if you're completely fine with it and you have an open relationship in that aspect, as opposed to if it's, no, I just want to be with you. But if it's like where I want to be with you and other people, but I only want you with me, because I've definitely been in those situations too. And you can go ahead and put your little emoji up, red flag, or whatever emoji you'd like to use, or share your insight on that if you relate to any of this, because it can be so many different ways, right? It could be like, you could have a friend, that's your best friend, that is always with you and your partner, and that's great. That's awesome when you're all work together and you're all family. And if you're like, if you're that close, and then say, I've also had you may be in a situation right now, I'm feeling like someone is in a situation where their best friend is someone that they've never been able to trust. They've considered them their best friend for years, and they don't want to own up or face the fact that their best friend isn't really their best friend. They're jealous of them, they're envious, they say things that you want to hear, but they really aren't truly genuinely there for you. They're there to get something from you. They're the taker. They don't really give. What they give to you are words, but they can't back them up with actions. And the actions that they show you also make you question or wonder where their loyalty lies. So I'm not sure, that is for someone out here. I'm not sure someone needed to hear that, because honestly, that wouldn't have been something that I'd even want to share out loud with others, because that could be something that, it's that this is like calling you to have love for yourself first, to have love inside, and trust yourself first. So two main things out of this foundational card here is to have love. Do you have love for yourself? Do you know your self-worth and your self-value? Above all else, above what others think, above what others say, above what is, what may be around in dynamics of the world and your environment with the company that you keep. But your true love, being centered with yourself and knowing yourself clearly and knowing yourself enough that you're able to actually draw a line. That's interesting. I say draw a line because that has come up in a lot of the scrying sessions. You may want to check out one of my scrying videos. Okay. If this resonates for you, because there's a line, there's a rules of engagement that needs to be established if this is you. And sometimes it's important to cut the cords on relationships completely, entirely, and move on from the situation. However, other times it's important for you to still cut those toxic cords. But if the person keeps coming back, they're coming back because it's a whole cycle of process. It's trusting the process that you're purging, and sometimes purging takes a long time. It definitely doesn't happen overnight or with a click of a finger. Also, it's an opportunity for people to assess themselves. If this is a friendship that you're in that you really want to keep and they want to keep, and they're swearing to you up and down. I mean, whether, again, if you've ever crossed paths with a compulsive liar, then you know that how they will be able to look you in the eye and straight lie to you, but inside, because sometimes people live in their illusion and their masks and the mindset that they create versus the reality that they are in. And when that is done, and when you tell yourself a lie so many times, it becomes your reality. It becomes what you're living your life as, okay? So again, anyway, this Lover's card is all about, now the beautiful side of this is that this is devotion. It shows commitment. It shows that Reuben played a song for another lady wanting to see someone else dance, and that's okay. That's all that happened. That is all that happened. He's still devoted to you, Charisse. He's still devoted to you, and he shows that, and he proves that to you by his actions and his words. So that's a huge difference than from someone that plays a song for another person. Like if if he's playing a song for your best friend, that would be wonderful, right? But if he's doing it out of way to get something else, and he's completely lying to you, and this can work both ways. This could be a female artist too, singing a song for has a boyfriend, but then she's singing a song for another boyfriend. It could be female, male, any really any gender, because tarot isn't really gender specific. In the spirit realm, there's snakes that speak, okay? There's reptiles, reptilians that speak. There's dragons, draconians. There's all kinds of other forms. And really, that is where we come from. So, and ideally, we are just a ball of energy. That's our soul. It's that ball of fire inside of us that lives forever, eternal. It's the eternal flame within us that lives on and on and on and reincarnates until we actually, there's a different ways of going about the reincarnation path. The reincarnation could be that it's we reincarnate until the karmic cycles of ourselves, our ancestors, is all cleansed and complete. There's a thought process, and it's like this is planet Earth school, and we're learning. There's also the process of some don't want to come back down here to Earth to do anything. There's also thrown out there the thought that there's millions of entities and spirits that are wanting to come back down to Earth, but there's a long list in line to get in to do that. So there's all kinds of different analogies of what that means as far as reincarnation goes, but you figure out what yours means and stick with that, because this is also about you having intuition, you following your inner wisdom, your inner gut and strength. And that's how I like to do my tarot. I like to speak about what I see, my perception, my perspective, my view, my downloaded information that I'm receiving, the energy I'm feeling from the card, and what's coming to my mind. you also have that opportunity. And when I'm doing in-person readings or doing tarot readings, I like to also to hold up the card. You allow yourself to feel whatever feelings are flowing. You know, does your heart start palpitating fast? Are you releasing gases, whether from your buttocks or your mouth? You know, that's a way of detoxing and letting go. So you're purging. Are you feeling dizzy? Do you suddenly get head pressure? Did you sneeze? You know, again, all of these things matter. You know, you could have got a sharp point, a sharp shooting sensation in your left arm. Maybe you felt like somebody tapped you on your back, or you felt a pressure of air on your foot. I mean, there's all kinds of different ways that spirits try to lead us and help us. And it's always, well, for me, it's typically always a subtle message. There's subtle messages and hints and clues until it all adds up to one. So it's almost like being Sherlock Holmes or something, trying to decipher. But yeah, this is playing a song for you, playing a song for your friend, learning about temptation and what that means to you, and how you're able to be emotionally stable during a process like this, okay? And trust, foundation of trust, loving yourself completely and loving your partner and the relationship entirely. Not just respecting your partner, but respecting the relationship. Putting the effort into the relationship and the love that you claim to have for the relationship, putting that in there. Because when you say, anyone can say I love you, however, showing the love is completely different. Showing how much you care is completely different. And by playing a song, by trying to lure someone else that you're interested in, that you're feeling a strong attachment to, that maybe you're feeling there could be something there sexually, sensually, or even emotionally. You know, any of those are ways of, like, when you're doing that, that's energy you're putting there. So that's taking, it could be seen in a way of like a lacking of love for your person that you're with, okay? However, again, it could just be they're playing a song and they really want fans. They want enjoyment by others, and that's just another person there that actually holds a lot of beauty, is very genuine and pure, that's being able to be shown and seen. But they are in their own self. They're just there for the music. They're there to dance. They're there to sing. Sure, could some be up there, be there at the show to get with to get with your Reuben? They could be. But if you have a strong foundation in your relationship, and you know that that person is devoted to you, and you love them and they love you, and you both reflect that in the relationship, for the relationship, not for just individual basis, okay? Because in a relationship, to have true unconditional love for each other, you have to have that detachment. You have to be detached and allow them to have their individualism. Allow them to be themselves. That's what it is all about. It's like, allow you to be your individual self. And it is your birthday. It is time to celebrate you. And it is about you. So if you're in a narcissistic relationship where they're making it about them, or they're wanting to just have a birthday with just you, this is something that I've been in myself too, where it's like, no, I just want to be with you on my birthday. And but I had wanted to be with friends and celebrate. And I mean, and I wanted to have both, like, hey, we spend every day together. Let's do my birthday this day, and then on my birthday we'll do it that, or whatever. Let's celebrate my birthday with you on my birthday, and then we'll celebrate with friends a different day. Being flexible and open. So if you are actually in a relationship, I'm being asked to share this with you right now. If you're in a relationship where the person is wanting to share your birthday only with you and not with other people, and you want it the other way around, I highly recommend that you come to an agreement, have a resolution, and come to an agreement to where you do both, okay? Where the partner gets what they want to where they have you one-on-one, maybe perhaps on your physical birthday, and then say, okay, well then on this day we're going to celebrate my birthday with friends. And try that. Try to work it out, because really when you work out, what is it they say? It's like being like in mediation. It's like usually when you come to an agreement, both sides, it's not like both sides get a little bit of what they want, but they also don't get all of what they want. So it's like it's agreeing to I'm sorry. I cannot think of the word right now because words are sometimes hard at the state of where I am working at with this new moon, the eclipse, the purge, and also just this day, okay? Um, as a female going through things, the brain fog is very intense sometimes. I will just leave it at that for you. Um, but this is just basically asking you to love from your heart everything around you, all of it, and have compassion even when you're hurt and you're trying to express something to a friend, to your lover. Like, have compassion in your heart and practice saying those words before you have the conversation. Practice it first so that you can gather your thoughts and what you want to say. And also, if it's your birthday, I'm hearing bells in the background where love is playing. So be playful. It's time to be playful. Dance, even dance. There's this tree looks like fire, and we are in Aries. New moon just went in Aries. It looks like fire here, and this looks like the tree of knowledge. The whole the tree of knowledge of like, don't eat the apple. If you eat the apple, the forbidden fruit, then you know everything, and then when you know everything, then you can't really take that back. So like the innocent, pure, childlike self, um, uh, of being unlimited just goes away, because then you become worldly, limited, and have that inside of your mind, and it's hard to actually go back to the purity once you're in that state. But it's possible. There's like this road here, there's an alley, and the road leads straight up to the full moon, and the full moon is all about letting go. So there could be some emotions for you to let go of. Check yourself, make sure that you are secure in your feelings. I mean, I believe personally that everyone deals with insecurities. It doesn't mean that they're not secure at times. I think that we all also have securities. We all, there are parts of us that are secure, very secure in ourselves. Yet there are some parts in us that are insecure, okay? So I think that that's something that all humans carry within them. And some has to do with our upbringing and how we were taught and raised to feel about ourselves, because that's kind of what insecurities are about. It's emotions about ourselves, and then we display that out to the world as a reflection in a mirror, because that's how we think we're supposed to. So this could be asking you to go in deep with lover. Also, I'm getting a feeling that some of you are going on a date today. Please let me know in the comments. And if you don't want to share yet about your date, share after the fact, how the date went, because there's sunlight right here, okay? The sun is going to rise for you. And this is power. This also just gave me inner child vibes. So if you aren't close to your inner child and your inner gut, your intuition, to where you can trust yourself and trust your process and trust your boundaries, trust your own loyalty within yourself, this is asking you to step into your inner child and go on a journey, perhaps maybe find a shaman that you can work with that can help you go on an inner child healing journey. Do some inner child meditations. Grab yourself a yellow crystal and place it on your solar plexus chakra and meditate with that and try to connect with your inner child. It may take quite a bit of times, so don't give up. Practice, keep practicing. We are in Aries, so that Aries gives you that, already gives you that energy of being determined and yeah, having determination and willpower to get in contact with your inner child. Oftentimes our inner child is hiding and afraid and doesn't really want to come out because of everything that we have put the inner child through. And it's not, that is not meant to be in negative light or or a good or bad or evil kind of look. It's the way you want to perceive this energy is it is. It is. Kind of like so be it, which means it is. Okay, I hope that makes sense for you. It's just you want to leave judgment out because that's not going to serve you, and it's also not part of connecting. It will block you. Okay. All right. So then we have the floral essence. Beautiful. Floral essence. So do you like flowers? And again, we have the full moon here. So there's going to be a lot with this, the next full moon that we have, which is going to be in April. There's something, because this looks like a planet to me. This looks like a planet to me. And this looks like a sun. So this also has like whirlwind of things going on. Oh, and I just saw like a scepter. Is that Neptune? What does Neptune look like? I'm not exactly always sure about what the symbols, I'm still learning the symbols and esoteric. It does resemble Neptune. This resembles Neptune. And what do we know about Neptune? It's all about dreams, illusions, imagination, and that is where Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and it's about spirituality. It's about subconscious mind and conscious mind being enlightened. So being enlightened, and the snakes are looking. There's 3 snakes, and there's 3 people in this card, and there's a snake there. I'm going to hold these up for you so you can see. Look at that. Look at how they're looking at the lovers. And this is ultimately asking you to ask yourself, what in you attracted this energy? I mean, if it's like profound love, devotion, you're so honored that this person, this human is playing a guitar for you, for your friends, for people you don't even know. And it's just a beautiful, absolute, wonderful feeling inside that you're having, you know? Like, this isn't like you ask yourself, how did I get so lucky or anything of that? But it's like, what in me drew that energy in? Because maybe you're wanting this energy to flow in other areas of your life where it isn't flowing right now. Okay? And I started this when we got the snake talking about gardens and flowers. And maybe you're a gardener. So then we have the floral essence. The floral essence just is, you know, and then there's stars here. Magic. Flowers are magical. They're provided to us by Mother Gaia, the Divine Mother. Connect with the Divine Mother, especially if you are doing that inner child work. She will help you. I promise she will help you. She will help you provided you are ready to surrender, you're ready to open up, and you're ready to allow her in and call her in and to spend the time and take the time for yourself, for your body, on your spiritual journey, to actually sit in meditation, to work with going inward, being that hermit, and then coming out and being able to use your different set of eyes to see this comfrey here growing and know, wow, this is like grown wild in the earth, and it has all these benefits that offers healing to our bodies. How beautiful is that? Look at this, these little flowers here. I'm not exactly what they are, but when I first looked at them, I initially thought the lotus flower. And it said that love, we are born with the lotus flower in our heart. Lotus flower, it's inner peace. And the flower has like 6 petals, I think, that are already bloomed, but it's up to us to bloom the other 6, something of that nature. I may have be off about that, about the numbers. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that. But the moral of the story is that there's something to the lotus flower and love and connecting with unconditional love in your heart. And that is probably your answer also to those of you who have this beautiful life right now and you're feeling just like on top of the world, standing on the moon, and you're just on top of, sitting on top of the world, like the Bill Monroe song. If that's you and you feel completely on top of the world, this could be why, your petals, you've opened your heart petals. If you're, wanting to draw more of that into your life, maybe you have new friendships that are coming to celebrate you today, and you're excited and eager, and also it's an unknown, so it's giving you some insight as to like, ooh, I'm not sure how this is gonna happen, but I'm so thrilled and happy that so and so is going to be part of this, and celebrating my birth, my rebirth. It's all about you, Aries, and your birthday today. It's all about you and your birthday. How are you going to celebrate? Are you ready to make that wish? And this is also like in the flowers, in the fields of flowers is where you're going to get answers. If you're a gardener, you know this, and so it's time for you to start digging in the ground, digging in dirt, and digging yourself also into meditation while being outside. If you're not a gardener, but you do admire flowers, it's time to go to a flower shop, go to a flower field, lay in the flowers, and feel Mother Earth there. Feel Mother Gaia in your womb. All right, it's time to blow out your candle. On the count of 3, make a wish. 1, 2, 3. And as the smoke rises, may your wishes and dreams also come in true. Have a cosmic day and tonight, meow.